Oh man, hold on. I got my TV going. Hold on. I was like, I'm gonna be perfect this time. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying?
I was
I always put. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna be perfect, and like I never left. Never happens. I'll screw up somehow. Maybe I'll be on mute, or maybe like, I had my actual show going in the background on my TV, because like I like to like see if I messing up or something like that, or sometimes the chat. I can see the chat right here and during the TV when it pulls up and people are talking. So that's what I like to do whenever I'm on a show or I do my own show. And so a lot of people probably see me grab a controller and he's like, what is he doing? He's on a show. No, I'm just I'm trying to make sure everything's good, you know?
Yeah. No,
as you know,
professionalism, man. That's awesome.
I try. It doesn't come out perfect, but
well, it's paraphrasing a lot of Bob Ross, but essentially Bob Ross's main thing was like, as long as you try, like that's all that matters at the end is you try, and whatever comes out, that's what to be proud of. That's paraphrasing a lot of Bob Ross episodes, but that's essentially Bob Ross's message.
Yeah, Bob Ross, man. It's like when we grew up with Bob Ross, we watch him, and like you can watch like maybe 10 minutes of it, and then you got to like, all right, Bob, I gotta go. Maybe watch a few things.
Like yeah, nowadays, especially nowadays with like TikTok and how YouTube is like very much like there's some shorter form stuff. Like, yeah, Bob Ross, like let's do a 10-minute or 15-minute painting video. 30 minutes is a little bit too much. I got to go to school or I got to do this. Like, I'm imagining back when I was watching it and stuff.
It's almost like, but you still went back to see the finished product, though. You're like, oh, see how it looks like now. Like if you go watch something else or do something, then you go back at least the last 5-6 minutes and see how he finished, because you did like how he did everything, like how he pictures everything in his head, and just like
and most of it is like very calming, but like he is like, that's another thing, is he is like talking throughout his painting. He's sometimes quiet, but he's talking throughout, and like, yeah, you'll see that process. Like it's one thing to like start at minute 1 and then just skip to minute 30 and see the finished product, but like seeing that in between where like he's talking and he's talking about like it's the classic meme of like the little mistake, and like that happy little mistake, like turning something into it, to where if you went from minute 1 to minute 30, you just saw like, oh yeah, that's a really nice tree. But if you saw all that in between, you're like, oh crap, like he messed up, but he turned that mess up into like something like that. If you hadn't followed the process, you would have not noticed.
You wouldn't have known nothing.
Turned it into something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally you'll watch the whole show, but like if trying to watch every show all the time, like
oh yeah, that's impossible. Yeah.
And he was awesome though.
Well, I couldn't like binge Bob Ross. Like that's not something I could do. I could maybe like watch an episode a week sort of thing. Binging Bob Ross is a whole nother thing. I don't know if I could do that.
Can you imagine that? You go insane. You love the man, but you go insane.
I'd be crazy. I'd be crazy by like hour 4. Like I'd just be like happy mistakes, just rocking back and forth.
You literally be like the picture on the thumbnail with the eyes turning like that. That dude. And what's funny is like we'll get out of the Bob Ross stuff in a minute. This wasn't planned, but that was one joke like years ago. And back when the social media first started and stuff like that, and they showed Bob Ross with his painting and the background, the lake and all that, and then the meme in the bottom is saying, can you imagine these are all the paintings where he hid his dead bodies and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. That was
you ever seen that?
That was a big internet conspiracy back then. Was like Bob Ross is a serial killer. Like I remember seeing that around all the time. It was It's like why does there have to always be like something bad with someone? Like people were trying to do the conspiracies with Bob Ross. They're trying to do conspiracies with Mr. Rogers. It's like, is it not possible to just have good in the world. Like, sure, the guys have probably made mistakes in their life, in their private life,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, can we be more positive, or at least see like the good and stuff, and not think so cynically? I don't know.
It's so bad. It's worse now than ever. It's just like, oh yeah, Mr. Rogers, like he had tattoos and everything. You know what I'm saying? Okay, okay. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Like these days, a lot of people do. But back in the day,
Yeah,
tattoos was like
that's
frowned upon. You know what I'm saying?
Very taboo. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's amazing all the stories that comes up, and we don't even want to mention the new stories coming out with a certain guy. A certain like. I don't want to go there. You already probably know what the main story is going on here. And Hollywood's going crazy and a certain freak off party and stuff like that. I was like, oh Lord. It's like, okay, I'll just say it.
All that
stuff. Diddy guy, that Diddy guy. Yes, I'm talking about that guy. And it's just like
lube and all that.
And I'm just like, the crime is not the parties. They can do whatever the hell they want. They're human beings, they're adults and stuff like. It's like when they involve the minors and stuff like that. That's the crime. You know what I'm saying?
It's the minors, and then like some like possible alleged all the trial stuff, the possible like non-consensual aspect to some of it. But and
there's two parties. There was the first party, which was actual party, and then there's the after party. The after party is the one you probably should not go to. You know what I'm saying? But because they go ahead.
For the first party, stay like 15 minutes, say hey to everyone you got to, and it's like, all right, we got to get out of here. Like, we can't get roped into this. Like, let's go back. Let's do something wholesome. Let's go to Chuck E. Cheese or something. Let's go let's go do T-ball and eat pizza and see the rat. Let's do that while they're while Diddy's.
Well, you never knew. Like, you got these people with money. I'm sure he wasn't the only party in town. You know what I mean? There's probably a party in LA, a party over there, a party over here. I mean, so people hear about these big, and especially you hear up Miami. You know what I mean? You hear about these big parties, you want to go to that party. And I'm sure a lot of celebrities went to that party. Doesn't mean they all contribute to every little thing that happened. You know what I mean? But now they're trying to drug everybody's name under the water. Like, the entire 90s, everybody we love from the 90s, they're all bad. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Oh, man. We went on a tangent like we always do on this show, man.
It always happens, man. It's fun, though.
We're on Bob Ross, Diddy. Who else we want to talk about? Let's not go into politics. Then everything will go down. Whichever side you choose, you're an American. You choose whatever you want. But it's insane when you choose a side and stuff like that. How your popularity goes. At least half the country, because this country is divided 50-50 now. It's just like whatever happens. Let's all love each other. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the key thing is like let's everyone can have their different political takes or stances that they have, but at the end of the day, like let's not forget, like, we're all human. Like that's the thing that like binds us all together, is like we're all on this rock floating in space, and we're all figuring stuff out. Like whether you're religious or not, like we're all human. Like that's something we're all trying to figure it out, and that's the common denominator. And then all the political stuff that's under, but it's important to keep that in mind. Like, we're all human, we're in this together. Let's just keep that in mind. We're getting through it. Let's let's try to keep that in mind, though.
All right, back to the show. First of all, how you doing, man? It's been a long time since we've done one of these. Since I know you've been doing your rounds and stuff like that, but it's been a while before we talked. How you been, man?
Yeah. I've been good, man. I've been good. Like, this past week, I won't get into the details and stuff. This past week, like, muy bien. Very, very
all
good
right.
week.
I like to hear that, week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you, man. And yeah, it's just multiple things, and then like just seeing like how the Kickstarter is doing and stuff, like everyone's supporting it, and like I don't know,
Sweet.
it's even, I mean, there's always like struggles that happen
Of
in a
course.
week and stuff like that. But just like bigger picture stuff, seeing that, it's like always brightens my day. But what
Sweet,
about you,
man.
man? Like you said, it's been at least since one of these. Like I've seen you in like some YouTube chats here and there, but since one of these, how have you been? It's been almost a year, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while
Yeah,
since I think I did a few shows early in the year. Your unboxing for your last Kickstarter was one of them.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and it's just things got hectic in the background. You know how like the summer in my job, it's like Christmas for
yeah, yeah.
people. You know, in jobs in the retail business. For me, I deliver bread for a living now, so the summer's the way to be
Summer's
for us.
like
So
just at you the whole time.
yeah, it's crazy. A lot, Brett. A lot of like the work. A lot of hours happen during the summer. So and of course, summer's when everybody's busy. You know what I mean? Everybody's doing their thing and stuff like that. And my partner, Prime Time Tom, you know what I mean? He's doing his own thing too. So I was like, we'll just go on a hiatus. We'll come back during the fall, stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it just so happens that every time that happens, when we come back, you have a Kickstarter happening. You know what I mean? Which is pretty cool. I start off my show
Yeah,
with one of your Kickstarters. So
yeah.
so yeah, I've been good. I'm good. I'm pretty healthy and stuff like that. You know, ups and downs, like you said, ups and downs. And
Yeah.
normally when you ask people how you doing, they're like, "Oh man, I had a rough week." I had a decent week. I actually had a decent week. So it's
That's
cool
awesome.
that both of us had one of those. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, later, like in the mid or late of this month, me and Primetime Tom are returning to do the Big Herm show with Primetime Tom, and we're gonna do
I
our
was gonna say y'all
Spider-Man
had
show.
some.
What happened?
I was gonna say y'all have had some amazing Spider-Man build up the past few months, so y'all can like y'all have a backlog now where y'all can like work
Yeah.
towards it, sort of thing.
Yeah, so we have usually when we caught up, we will do like one will come every 2 weeks. So we'll add another issue like Ultimate Spider-Man, which has been awesome. I've been loving Ultimate Spider-Man. So and we'll do that. But now we got to play the catch up, so we put that on hold. And when we first come back, we might do 3 or 4 issues. It might take a little while, a little longer. It'll be a
Yeah,
long
yeah.
first long show, and then we'll carry on and finally catch up again during the winter and stuff like that. So that's pretty much my ongoing show. I might get be on other people's show here and there. You know what I mean? I've been Gary the comic guy, that guy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? The casual comic guy. Been on his show. You've been on his show too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
stuff like that. I'm gonna try to get myself back in it. It's rough to do this consistently. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah,
then have
yeah,
a life. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Working and stuff like that, being with family and stuff like that. But now that I got a little more time in my hands, I'm back. You know what I mean? And of course,
yeah.
I got my man Brandon here, so we got like a chat. You know what I
Well,
mean?
well, it's one of those things where like the priority is family, work life, like all that stuff. Like those are the priorities. That's the thing to focus on. And then whenever you do feel like doing an upload or doing a live stream, like you guys coming back with the Amazing Spider-Man stuff, like that's that's how to do it. Don't like just push yourself
Force
and
it.
push yourself. Yeah, yeah, don't force it. Yeah, yeah, do it like when it's natural for you, when you want to do it. Like it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
the consistent schedule of like, I got to get a video out every week, or I got to get 2 videos out every week, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Like these specific days, it's just no, like whenever you want to do it, because this is a part of your life. But
Yeah.
like we are talking about those priorities, like that's like the key thing. And then this is also
It's
like
more
an
important.
added bonus sort of thing.
Yeah. This is to have fun. You know what I mean? This is
Yeah,
probably why
exactly.
I started this. Have fun. I met
Yeah, yeah.
wonderful people along the way, like yourself, stuff like that, and people in the chats. Let me say hi real quick. My man
Yeah,
Eric
yeah.
the Stash. He's got his
Hey,
own
Eric.
channel. He's killing it
So
every week. Go ahead.
I have to confess something about Eric. I messaged Eric maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and when I messaged him, it took me about a week or so. It took me this long to realize that 9-panel grid was Eric the Stash from back in the day. Like back when I was on like Chamorro show and stuff like that, like Manny's channel and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize like Eric the Stash. I remember seeing his name pop up in the chats all the time. I remember seeing his name in the chats all the time. It took me forever to realize like 9-panel grid is Eric the Stash. Like I don't know. It took me forever, but that's awesome. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, it's not a new guy. He's just new.
No, he's been there
for the YouTube. You know, he's been around for like all of us. You know what I mean? And a lot of us was pushing him to do a show because he's really good at what he does too. He's very knowledgeable and has a great opinion and stuff, and you know, very positive dude. So you know, he started doing his own show and stuff like that. So station to you, my brother. So I'm happy he's doing his thing, and yeah, that's a great story. Yeah, and he could be like, that wasn't me. I'm not Eric. I'm some other dude. You know what I mean? My man Sal Station, thanks for joining us too. You know what I mean? Another member of the Bad Batch, Link Station. Link. You know what I mean? Steph, what's up, bro? I always love it when my boys are in the chats and stuff like that. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but it was nice to see him earlier. He was doing a show with my man Verno. Hey, what's going on? I've got a show, 2 movies. I just did it. Salem's Lot and VHS Beyond, this year's movie. They covered it earlier. Verno was like, we're the pre-show to the Big Herm show and stuff like that. I appreciate him saying that. But they put on a good show, Verno and Steph. So check that out. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to check it out after. I didn't realize VHS Beyond was already out, so I'm gonna have to redo my Shudder subscription and watch, because I love, like, every time a VHS movie came out, I was always like getting it just to watch it, and then I'd cancel the Shudder thing right after, because I've watched most of the stuff I want to watch on Shudder, but those VHS movies, when they come out, I gotta watch them. So I'm gonna watch that, then I'll watch you guys' reviews of it.
There you go. You see, guys, I got you next to view right now. You know what I mean? Hopefully more views. But all those guys, the Bad Batchers and all that, the PCP Army Bad Batchers are in the link down below. They're all there. So check them out, including my man Bandon, his Kickstarter. I haven't put it. It always happens. I always forget to put. I was like, I'll do everything. Forgot to put your Kickstarter in there. So I'm gonna add it to this show towards the end of the show, after the show finishes. But we'll get to talk all about that really, really soon and stuff like that, because I'm pretty excited about the Kickstarter. But just say hi to everybody. Of course, Eric's laughing. And my man Berto, hey, what's going on? It's been a long time since I've been on your show and on the chats. We have a great show and stuff like that. What's up? Oh man, what is up, man? Those are my brothers right there. So yeah, man. So like, yeah, we've been 20 minutes in here. We didn't even talk about anything that you're doing yet, but of course, this is how my shows are. You know what I mean?
That's fun.
Like, yeah, I've always enjoyed doing this with you. I don't know. This is what, fourth comic or fifth comic? I lost count. You know what I'm saying?
In terms of Kickstarters, yeah, this is the 4th Kickstarter.
The 4th. Okay, I got it right. Because I know I've like watched the first one not too long ago, because it's been a while. So I was just like, all right, let me watch. Oh man, I could have done that better. Maybe I should stop watching this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just dissing my own self on it.
well, there's only so much you can watch of your own self, because I'll say, like, early on, like whenever I first started out, like doing the YouTube stuff, like Manny's show, like you were either the 2nd or 3rd show I was on. Manny's show was the very first one I was on, and I was like nervous. I'd like never been in front of a camera and stuff. My job deals with public speaking, but like being in front of a camera and stuff, I was like, it's great to be here. But Manny was really cool. Like got me into it, sort of thing. But I remember after that talk with Manny the first time, looking back at the video and watching it and stuff, to like see like, oh, like what are some things I could possibly change in terms of awkwardness or whatever. But I don't know. It was like after third or fourth thing, like it just became like, all right, don't look at this. Just go with it. Go with the
Just
flow
keep
sort
going.
of thing. Yeah.
Go for it. Sometimes you just overthink things. That's what we do these days. We just like to overthink things and
100%.
stuff like that. And people are not worried about you being perfect. They just like to watch you on the screen and have a good
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean? This is what they do. And Manny, man, he was my first show too. The first time, like I first live show, because I was doing the recorded shows and stuff like the Wednesday Warrior stuff. But yeah, he's the one that invited me on. Like I think someone said something. I was like, yeah, one day, and then he just, of course, oh, just come to my show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I always thank Manny for that, man. I love the guy. I haven't heard from him in a while. I hope he's doing all good and stuff like that. And he hasn't done content in a while. I hope he comes back, because he's a special dude, man. And I love all my guys, man. I talk about all of them. You know what I mean? Of course, Phable always has his music in the beginning of my show.
Great.
You know, the Phable one. You know what I mean? The fabulous one, I used to call him, stuff like that. So yeah, man. So yeah, all that's awesome. I just think now that we have this platform, we're always gonna be able to like touch up, even though it's been a long time. You know what I mean? And it's cool. Like you still living in Florida, or you moved?
I'm still in Florida.
Okay.
Still basically in the same place. Like eventually I do want to move, but probably not that far. It'll probably still be a part in Florida, or like somewhere in the south. Like I want to move where there's like mountains and stuff. I want mountains. I'm tired of the beach. I want woods and mountains. Like that's more my speed.
So it's still your stuff. I don't know. You could be a mountain guy. You're still a tall guy. You know what I mean? I remember you telling me you were like 6'7" or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I keep forgetting you're a tall guy. Like if I ever meet you, I'm gonna be like, hey, what? How you doing up there?
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
With mountains and woods and stuff, like I like to go hiking, but I gotta be careful. Someone sees me hiking, they're gonna think it's like a Bigfoot spotting or something.
Sasquatch.
I gotta be careful. Yeah.
In Florida, they call them Sasquatch. So
Yeah.
I remember those days in Florida, man. Man, that was years ago, man. Our first show was like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, or something like that.
I'm assuming 2021. So yeah,
2021,
like
3
years ago, like 3.5, probably. Yeah,
3.5, just about. Time flies, man. Time flies. And I was just looking at it. I was like, damn, wow. You know what I mean? Sheesh. But now that we've talked for 25 minutes, we're here to actually talk about an awesome Kickstarter that you like to do, and I'm kind of excited. You know me, I always go all over the place because I want to talk about everything at once.
Yeah,
but we'll do one thing at a time. I already have in my background over here your first issue right there. And what's funny is I was hunting these for a while, so because last time I didn't have them because I didn't know where I put them, and I finally found them. I'm like, all right, I found them. So of course I have a couple of copies of the first one. You know what I mean? And this is like the A cover, right, of the first one.
Yeah.
A cover of the second one, right there.
Awesome.
And then of course I got the metal one when it was available.
Yeah.
The metal one and stuff like that. So I'm sure let me show a couple of the the variant of the first one. I love them. And then there's the variant of the second one. So I was like, I'll show a few of them. Why not? You know what I mean?
Thank you.
What's funny? No problem, man. I found all these that I was missing. Now I can't find the latest stuff you've done. You know what I mean? I like it came with the shirt. Yeah, Tales from Town City. I can't find it. I was like, where's my Tales from Town City? At least I found the shirt. I got the shirt right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got the shirt. At least that counts. You know what I mean?
Herm's repping. He's good.
Yeah, I always repping, man. Like every once in a while, I bought this one and I couldn't find the pink one because I think it's dirty. I wore it the other day, but I love all that. We're gonna get into your other project because I saw at the end other projects. I kind of got excited seeing them. So, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Thank you.
But, like I always say, if anybody who's never watched this show, there might be one person going on and that doesn't even talk in the chat. Chill Out Man's been everywhere. I'm sure you've probably seen him before. Station, bro. Thanks for joining us. For maybe Chill Out Man, hasn't, doesn't know. You know what I mean? But he does. But, maybe he doesn't know. Who are you? What is a Kickstarter? Just a quick version. We don't have to go through the whole, we went a few times. But who are you? What's a Kickstarter? And go. I'll let you go. Let me just put you.
All right.
Boom.
So I'm Bandon Ingram. I am a comic writer. I started writing comics around 2019. I started actually publishing them in 2021 through my self-publishing line, Dismay Comics. And I've been putting out books since through that, stuff like Dismay Avenue, which is like my horror anthology series, Gallows-man, which is like the big current one, Tales from Town City, which is like a spin-off of the Gallows-man. Some other series that probably won't fall under the Dismay Comics line, but stuff that I plan on pitching to some publishers by the end of this year. I plan on pitching those, but I've currently, including this Gallows-man #3, there are 7 projects like that I'm working on / doing right now. It's a lot of hands in the kitchen, but my hands. I got 7 hands, and I'm just trying to get them all going, sort of thing.
Don't you wish you got 8? Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe if you had that 8th one,
Yeah, get the 8 series going. But no, it's been great. I love writing. I've probably said it on this show with Herm before. It's one of those things where if I never saw like $1 of profit from doing this, from making comics, if I never saw $1 of profit, like I'd like to one day, like, hey, making comics is like half my income. That'd be pretty cool. But even if I never saw that, like, I still want to do this in some form. I want to make comics in some form. I just love it. I have a passion for it. I grew up on reading comics. I have loved writing all my life. It took till after I was graduated high school that I looked back in retrospect and was like, oh no, like I actually do have liked writing all these years and stuff. But no, I've enjoyed it, and I do Kickstarters. That's kind of how I get my books out there currently, and I'll probably still do Kickstarters in the future. But through Dismay Comics, I do Kickstarters, and the big one we have right now is Gallows-man #3, specifically Gallows-man issues 1 through 3. So like those coming into the project, they can get Gallows-man 3. Those who are new to me, to Dismay Comics, to Gallows-man, you can get like catch-up bundles as well as all my other work. But for those that don't know what a Kickstarter is a crowdfunding platform. It's where creators can basically take their stuff to and try to crowdfund it. Now, Kickstarter nowadays is more like a pre-ordering type service. That's kind of what I do with stuff like the Gallows-man, where like this book is done. Like issue 3, it's completely done. Like I sent the copy to Herm and everything. Like book is done. Like at this point, it's just raising the funds and pre-ordering it, which we've already hit our funding goal. So it's one of those things where like if someone backs, like you're going to get the book, as well as like Herm showed earlier. Like I deliver. I do get you books. Mm-hmm. Like I get people books. It's not like you pre-order and then like you never see a book, or you see a book 2 years later or something. It's like no. Like you get the book on time, whatever the delivery thing is. Like I make sure to get it to you on that time or earlier. Because I'm just grateful for everyone that like wants to check out my stuff. It's awesome. People don't have to do it, but it's encouraging to me, and not only me, like all indie creators will say this. I've done Kickstarters or Indiegogos or this or that. Like someone simply just coming and picking up your book and checking it out is like, it's like, dang. Like when we first started out, like we were having trouble like getting friends and stuff to like, hey, like look at this
Mm-hmm.
thing just for free. It's like, hey, look at this thing. But like I'm sure other indie creators can relate to that, where you're like just trying to show people scripts or show people this, show people that. But it's cool to see like, hey, like people actually want to like buy this like and like read it. It's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a cool feeling.
That's awesome. And anybody, he not only does he come through, he updates people in the Instagram group or wherever you at. He has an Instagram group. I'm in there, and every time like something comes in or the books come in or if he gets something that they came out messed up and he has to resend it and send,
Yeah.
he's done all that and hustled on his own time and make sure we all know that and comes through in the clutch. So always appreciate that. Like you know, you just never know. Like you put your money into something, and then you never see it.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? You're
Well,
always gonna see
it's
it
one
with
of those
Brandon.
things where like it's one of those things where if someone is putting their money into this thing into like I'm not Image, I'm not Boom, and I'm also like not a big creator. I'm not Todd McFarlane. I'm not this person. I'm not that person. They have names to where like they don't even have to show you the book. They can just like show you a title of something where it's like, hey, this is coming soon. You can pre-order. Not saying they would do that, but like I'm fairly a newbie. Like, yeah, I've been publishing stuff for a little over 3 years. I would still say I'm a novice at it though. Even though it's a little over 3 years, I'm still novice at this. So I want to make sure like for those that are willing to support, I get the books to you and also keep those updates going, like regarding the process. Like you said, if something comes in, I let people know it came in. If something messes up at the printer, because we had that before with Dismay Avenue, like I make sure to be like, hey, this stuff didn't work. I contacted the printer. I'm shipping these back. They're sending me new books because this isn't what I want to send you guys out. It's little things, but I want to send you out what I see as the vision, what I see as the finished
Mm-hmm.
product. So just bear with me, guys. And then I send it, get my stuff back, then I send it to you. Because if someone's going to pre-order and get my books and stuff, I want to make sure it's like it's the best it can be. It's the best I see it can be.
And they're good. They're good. They're good material. They're good books. I have no problem opening it. I don't worry about messing up the book when I open an actual physical copy. Cause Brandon sends me the digital, but I do when they come in, I'll do a reread and I'll just turn the page. Oh yeah, I remember that and stuff like that. So they're awesome books, man. They're awesome. But I enjoy every single Kickstarter you've done. And I'm not just saying that. I can actually sit here and actually be honest and say it. You know what I mean? Because I understand you have that passion in there. You can see the passion in your writing. And you might be still new at it, but you know, you gotta be new sometime. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
So eventually when you become the vet, like hopefully, you know, you keep climbing that ladder and you could do Image one day and just do what you like. You know what I mean?
It's also one of those things, even like when I started like year one, 2021, starting Dismay Comics, like I was new then and I was still learning. 3.5 years later, I am still new in some field or some degree regarding comics. 10 years from now, when I'm 13 years into this, I'm still going to be new in some field of comics. It is constantly learning, it's constantly improving, whether it's your writing, whether it's learning marketing, whether it's whatever it may be. It's that constant learning to where even if you're 20 years into comics, you're a newbie at something in comics. You're always learning. And that's what's important, is to continue to try to learn, the different ins and outs of it so that you can get better and better. That's the crucial thing.
Oh yeah. Before we start anything, my man Perry, it's in the house. He's I always like doing the sound.
Wait. I saw Perry Comics. Where's Perry Gaming? What is this?
Well, this is a comic book type show right now, so I guess, you know, I thought they're the same guy. I thought there was a different guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Kind of like that whole 9 panel grid, Eric the Stash kind of thing,
Oh yeah.
Billy Power Max, what's up, bud?
Hey, Billy.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, like you were saying, great books and stuff like that. And also, you've been doing shows. You've been actually going on convention and stuff like that. How's that been?
It's been fun. It's definitely a learning experience, but overall, like I've loved and enjoyed it. My very first show was January of last year, January 2023, and like it was a big show, like for me, like it was jumping into the deep end. But I'm glad I did it because all the other shows that followed, it was like, oh, this is cake. Because the first one I did was New Orleans Fan Expo New Orleans, so it's fairly big. All fan expos are fairly big shows. But I loved it. Like I knew going in that like, okay, I'm probably going to be going into the negatives because I'm one, paying for hotel, two, like I'm buying food, the gas here, the price of Artist Alley to table and all that stuff. I knew going in I'd be going in the negative. So it's one of those things where I made the most of it. It's like, hey, if I sell my book, that's awesome, which we did sell a decent bit of Gallows-man and stuff at the time. That's what I had. And also just the interactions that I had, like meeting like different writers and creators, indie as well as like pros and stuff. People discovering my book for the first time and stuff like that. It was great. And like meeting Jim Kruger again. I'm not going to go on a spiel of that because I could go like 10-15 minutes on that, but no, that was an awesome thing. So even if I went in the negative of that, monetarily I went into the negative, there was a huge positive, like mentally as well as like just like pushing me through after that, where it's like, sure, money wise I went in the negative, but it's greater positive from just doing that, being there, all these interactions. So I did that. I've done a bunch of small cons since. Not as many this year. I did 4 shows this year and no more the rest of the year because there's not really any in the fall time around me. But I enjoy it. I really like it.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun, man. The experience, it's worth it. You know what I mean? I think,
Oh, yeah.
and the money is in the negative, but the experience and the joy you get out of it, it's worth
Exactly.
it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And hopefully one day you get that big line. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if you get it or not, you're gonna be happy anyway. So because
Oh, yeah.
you seem like you're enjoying what you're doing and stuff like that. And my man Link said, who are some of your writing inspirations, Brandon?
Oh, writing inspirations. I like to write a lot of comedy. I'll say regarding like stuff I like to read. I'm not saying they're entirely inspirations for what I write, but subconsciously we take in everything that we read or watch, sort of thing. I really like Tom King, the work he does on specifically maxi series, like a 6-issue thing or a 12-issue thing. Tom King's great. I really like Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire regarding like anything, none of the stuff I've written with like Gallows-man and stuff like that, but anything like family oriented, Jeff Lemire is like a huge inspiration there because the guy is king of father son comics. Like the guy is like king of that. Like if you want a good father son sort of story, like go pick up some Jeff Lemire. The guy has a decent bit of catalog with that, and I'm not saying it gets repetitious. It doesn't. He him having a father and him also being a father now, you can tell like he's putting it all in there with his experience. So those are some of the writers I really like. There's others that I also really like, but inspirations, because I a lot of times will write comedies. He's not a comic writer, but Norm Macdonald is a big inspiration for me. Comedian Norm Macdonald, he's since passed, but he is like one of the funniest guys to me. And I know his humor isn't for everyone because like sometimes it can be dry or sometimes it's like it's can almost sometimes seem like anti-humor, where it's like dumb, but that's kind of the point. Um, Hilarious guy. I just so happen to have it over here. It's not like I planned this. This is one of the funniest books I've ever read. If no one has read this, or if no one out there has read this that's watching, pick this up. You can get it on Amazon. It's Norm Macdonald, based on a true story, not a memoir. Very funny. It goes over Norm's life, but it says based on a true story. That is, keep the based part. Based on a true story. Because maybe about 20 to 30% is true. 70 to 80% is like insane exaggeration. Like at some point, Norm Macdonald goes to hell. You see him go to hell. It's like there's it's a hilarious book. I've always loved his comedy, whether it was stand up, his stuff on Weekend Update with SNL, the podcast he used to have. Hilarious guy. So Norm Macdonald's a good inspiration. Another one, Kevin Smith. I know he's pretty divisive regarding like people liking his stuff or not liking his stuff. Even to this day, because I know people the past 10 to 15 years aren't hot on his stuff, aren't too keen on his stuff. Even to this day, I still admire Kevin Smith. Even if I don't like a movie, like I didn't like Yoga Hosers, I still admire the guy because of what all he's done, both in cinema and comics. Cinema, he is like, I'm not saying he's the first indie filmmaker, but he was the filmmaker that showed like, hey, like anyone could do this. Like you can do this. You can make the thing you want to do. So he's a big inspiration to a lot of people, including myself, with him making Clerks and stuff. And even like the stuff he does nowadays. Yes, like it's not for everyone. And I completely agree. It doesn't have to be for you. But I admire that he still is making stuff. And I admire like how much of a fan of stuff he is. Like whether it's Star Wars, whether it's comics, whether it's Marvel, whether it's this, whether it's that. Like he's like, he helped push geek culture forward. Like you saw him all over like pop culture, whether it was with Comic Book Man or whatever it may be. Like you'll see, like if you look at a some sort of nerd documentary, it could be about anything, it could be about Star Wars, be about Marvel, be about this, be about that. He's probably at least a minute interview in there where it's like, oh crap, they got Kevin Smith in this, because the guy is just down to talk about this stuff. So as much as people like to bash on Kevin Smith, the guy has done a lot for the geek culture thing as a whole. But yeah, like those are some of my big inspirations. Nick Spencer as well. I say Nick Spencer because Nick Spencer is I say specifically before like I don't know what he's currently doing now, and I'm not talking about his Spider-Man stuff or anything like that. Specifically before Secret Empire, the guy wrote a good bit of comedies. He wrote Superior Foes of Spider-Man, very funny book.
Very good. Very good.
C and D list villains and stuff. Very funny book. He wrote a book at Image called The Fix that is still on hiatus to this day. He says it's on hiatus. He's probably never going to go back to the book. But one of the funniest books I have ever read in comics, especially at that time. It came out like 2016, 2017. Very overlooked book. But and yeah, I say Spencer specifically his comedy days. I'm not talking about like the modern superhero stuff he does nowadays. I mean, get Nick Spencer to write comedy and people will look at him differently again. That's what they need to do. Get him on.
Well, he's a good writer. Like when I was doing his Spider-Man stuff, I've always say he's a good writer, whether you like his Spider-Man stuff or not, which I always thought was 50-50. Some of it was good, some of it was not good. But like I'm always telling people this, he just tried to accommodate, try to make people like fan service kind of thing, trying to change things back to where they were, like a certain marriage or something like that and stuff. And he was getting there, but as soon as the editors saw it, they chopped it and didn't let him finish the run and stuff like that, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is when I don't go on the expensive that long. But he is a good writer, and like I would love to read all that other stuff you're talking about and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to go back and find that stuff because
get him on
solid.
more. Get him on more comedy stuff. If he never does a comedy book again, hopefully people will seek after that comedy stuff, because you'll see like, okay, like he has a side to him that like isn't 50-50. Like I feel like most people will like his comedy stuff.
Yeah. So him, and then of course the artist, I keep forgetting his name, that started Spider-Man with him, Ryan Otley, his art and stuff, like with and all that. So I enjoyed a lot of that. Sucks he wasn't, they made him stretch it too. There was a lot of things wrong with that run that wasn't all him, but he's a really good writer. So I vouch for him. You know what I mean? Oh man. But where we were up to? Okay, so you talk about the inspiration and stuff like that. Gallows-man 3. Back to what we're here for. I kind of like remember the how it ended, the cliffhanger it ended, and I was always like, kind of like, we all talked about the last time, the Batman and Robin stuff from back in the day, the 66 show and stuff like that. So in my head, I'm always like, how is he gonna get out of this one? Will he do it? Find out next time. You know what I mean? And of course, as a Kickstarter, it will be a while till we find it. I was excited to finally be able to read the 3rd issue on that.
That issue 2 cliffhanger very much was like to do that, of like the classic, whether it was 66 Batman, or whether it was just like shows from that time, like action type shows of that time, or you can go back to comics where it is like, hey, we got to leave a cliffhanger almost every other issue or each issue so that people are still invested, sort of thing. It's kind of harkening to that time. Yes, it's like over the top with him hanging on that thing, that symbol, but yeah, it's
just something. It's old cliche kind of thing, but it's still fun. It's literally what you saw back in those times. And it literally is a nice action comic book, series in a book. You know what I mean? Like a show in a book, stuff like that. So I know that's what you were going through, and in this particular issue, you kind of saw some more of that. It's kind of, you play a little homage on a few shows there. Maybe I'm wrong, but there's a few things that happen in this 3rd issue that happens, like how he gonna get out of this one, find out next time. And then when the issue opens, you're like, previously. So like, now that I'm talking about previously, if you want to talk about the first 2 issues like real quick, and leading into the 3rd one, if you don't mind, because it was pretty cool.
So for those that don't know what the Gallows-man is, it's basically Adam West Batman, like we were talking about, mixed with like Inglourious Bastards. And the reason I say that is it's the fun campiness of Adam West Batman, the cheesy dialogue, like, gee willikers, Gallows-man, like stuff like that, mixed in with like over the top violence you would see in like a Tarantino movie. Like a recent example of that is for those that have seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, pretty straightforward movie. It's pretty good drama, straightforward movie. The last 20 minutes goes 0 to 100. It's like, holy crap. the violence is like, whoa. Like, but with Gallows-man, when there are those little moments and stuff, it's the art is done in a way where it is not too much. If this art was more realistic and stuff, I wouldn't feel comfortable like reading it or putting it out there. But since it is that more like cartoony vibe, it adds like, it's like if you go see a horror movie. You go see a horror movie and like you see this over the top kill. One I'm going to mention is, if anyone out there has watched In a Violent Nature. In a Violent Nature came out this year. It's a slasher movie that follows the slasher. It's a very slow movie because
Mm.
half the movie is him walking through fields and stuff to get to the next camper, the next victim, sort of thing. But one of the kills in that is like so over the top and gruesome. If anyone has seen it, I'm talking about the yoga girl kill on the cliff. It is just such an over the top kill where it like leaves you a little bit cringing, but it's so over the top where you're like laughing. You're like, oh my gosh, this is like so messed up that I'm watching this. But you like laugh at how over the top it is. And I mention that because Tarantino does that in his movies. His violence is so over the top that he's clearly doing it for comedic effect. And that's what I tried doing with the Gallows-man. There's violence in it. That's really the only reason that makes it rated M. Like it's a rated M comic. There's no sex, nudity, no language, no suggestive themes, no smoking, drinking, none of that stuff. But it's rated M because it is like that over the top violence, goriness sometimes. But
yeah, it's definitely it definitely is an old school 66 Batman show meets whatever you want to compare it to now. You know what I mean? Put now era in it without all the bad stuff, all the, like you said, the swearing and stuff like that. That's what that is. You know?
And I'll also say, because I've had a couple people say this, and I don't blame them. It's just what's on like the recent pop culture zeitgeist, because there was a season that came out this year and stuff. But I've had a couple people say like, oh, like it feels like Adam West Batman meets The Boys or something. And like, I don't blame them for saying that, but I'd say that's not a great way to describe it. Because with The Boys, yes, there are like it's superheroes and you're kind of, the big thing with The Boys, the comic and the show, is Garth Ennis, great writer. I love his Punisher Max series. He is a good writer. But if you have read any of Garth Ennis's stuff, he clearly, through reading it, hates superheroes or thinks superheroes are dumb. Superheroes are stupid. Let's pants them. This is a joke. That's how he views superheroes. I don't see superheroes like that. Like I may like poke at little like tropes here and there or cliches here and there, like just for fun. But in no way is it like mean spirited. There's no like mean spiritedness towards any of the comedy that I have with the Gallows-man or Tales from Town City. Hey, thanks, man. But yeah, there's it's out of love. Like I love superheroes. Superman is my favorite superhero, Marvel or DC. I love superheroes. I love what they embody. I love the stories that people tell with them. And sometimes you like to just like tease some of the classic writing tropes and stuff like that. But in no way is it like,
in a
I
fun
hate
way.
this. Yeah, exactly.
In a fun, very it's fun. That's why I like your comics, because you don't never take it too. It's never too serious. You know what I mean? It's a fun time, and I like through all your issues, you always add something, another element to it. Like I saw someone talk about a car chase or something like that in the stream. There's a car chase in here. You know what I mean? I don't know if you wanted me to spoil that, but there's a nice little car chase in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's the classic like because it starts off like, oh, how's he going to get out of this? And it's the classic like almost like a Bond villain type moment with Major Swastika, who's the main villain of the series. Almost like a Bond villain thing where he's like, oh, Gallows-man is strapped up, so I'll reveal my whole plan. He's definitely not going to get out of this, sort of thing, like you would see in a Bond movie or something. And then obviously there is eventually the getaway, but the funniness and the lead up to the getaway as well as the getaway, and then like a good car chase. That's something that I really wanted with this, was to have this over the top car chase that happens. And I'm happy I got to do it, got to have it, because it's it's that car chase is all over the place.
It was well done, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Helen Bolton, her name was. She's still the same artist, right?
Yeah,
I
Helen's
enjoy it.
been doing the series the whole time. She's fantastic at it. And I'm not saying like either of us were like novice at the beginning in terms of like issue 1 and 2, but it's one of those things where like you will really like you will I hope I'm the writer, so I'm biased in saying this. You will really like the story of the Gallows-man, issue 1, issue 2. You'll also like the art. You'll really like the art. But you see a progression of us like progressing as writer, progressing as artists. The story was always the same with issue 3. Like I wrote issue 3. I wrote the whole series back in like before 2020. Around 2020 is when I wrote it as a comic. But issue 3, the big edits that I had were some of the dialogue. Like I've gotten better at comedy. I'm not saying I'm a great comedy writer by no means. I'm keep myself humble. I'm not saying that at all, but I've gotten better. And I feel like I have progressed as a writer. Helen has progressed as an artist, and you're able to see that. Like issue 1 and 2, really, really good. Issue 3, you just see like a great progression that we've had.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just seeing that, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. They rip out the blue car and out of nowhere, and, you know. And then instead of getting chased by cops, they're getting chased by the Nazis.
Yeah, the Nazi cult members. Yeah, it goes over the top. It's wacky. It's fun. Oh, there was something. Maybe I missed it. I remember what it was. It was something you had said earlier. You had mentioned this was very fun. And that stuck out to me because that's at the end of the day, that's my key thing with the Gallows-man. Is yes, there are stuff you can look into, like read into, of like, oh, like I am have not really hiding it in there, but is a hyperization of like the desensitization of violence that you may see in society, sort of thing. Hyperization of that. But at the end of the day, like you don't have to read into anything. It can just be a fun time. And that's something that I'm not saying it's not there in comics and in media, but it's something that is lacking, I'll say. Is just look, I mentioned Tom King before. Really like his stuff. I like I haven't read anything 22 and up. I'm a little bit behind. I'm waiting for Christmas. When I ask some people like, hey, get me Human Target. Hey, get me this, get me that. I still really want to read Human Target. But I've read pretty much everything up to 2022. And great books. Fantastic books. But I don't always want to just be thinking, like if I'm reading a Tom King book and it's super serious, I don't want to always be like, man, especially with Tom King, war sucks. That's a big theme with some of his earlier stuff. Man, war is bad. War sucks. And the world is corrupt and we can't do anything to change it. Thank you for reminding me, Tom King. But I just sometimes I need escapism from that. Sometimes you need escapism from that. And having something fun can provide that, because I think a lot of points in our lives, we are looking for something that can just like another thing of positivity to just help us keep. I'm not saying like it'll lead to anything, but just help us like keep going down the path, keep rolling on, and just a little thing. And I'm not saying Gallows-man is groundbreaking by any means. By any means, I'm not saying that, but just another little thing in a world full of darkness and seriousness in our literature, in our books, in our media. It's like sometimes we just need something fun. Sometimes we need like a dumb dark comedy or something, like just to escape from that stuff. I told you I'd ramble. We ramble.
No,
but
it's good. It's good. It's good.
This is a key example of this that I had in my life. And people, when I mention the movie, you're going to think it's dumb, but I'm going to lead up to it. So in 2020 was not a good year for a lot of us. There may have been good that came out of it, but with COVID and everything, it was not a good year. It felt dark, especially what we see in the media, and if you had to do lockdowns, having to stay confined in the space you're in and not be able to be amongst others. Well, 2020 is a dark year. You don't see a lot of laughter from people. You don't see a ton of joy. You see people trying, but as a society, you don't see a lot of it. 2021 comes around. Theaters have already started like opening back up. It's sometimes it's restricted in terms of the seating and stuff, but theaters started opening back up. In February of 2021, dumb little movie comes out. Jackass Forever. Jackass Forever, the 4th Jackass movie comes out. Opens in theaters. Me and my brother, we go watch it. We go watch Jackass Forever, and just sitting there and watching it in a room full of people, even if it was restricted seating and stuff, and us just watching and just laughing and like having fun at this thing in a time where like we had a year of like hardly any of this, like having this community, having this laughter, having this happiness. Like, it's what I needed. It's what I think everyone in that theater needed. This is going to sound dumb, but Jackass Forever, I think saved I think it saved humanity.
Yeah, it's not dumb, man. That's why, like, when I read comics, like, there's you have all the Tom Kings and Ram V's part of that too. Like, great writers, man. I could keep naming. I could read them, but sometimes James Tynion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have to be in the mood for some of these comics. Although Tynion can actually make some fun comics too. Not that the other ones can't, but I'm just saying, like, he's got a few.
I know what you mean.
But that's why I gravitate towards Robert Kirkman, Kelly Thompson. I could keep naming names, but those writers like that, I end up enjoying a little more. Not that the other ones are bad. I enjoy those too. But when I want to read fun, I go to those Kelly Thompson, Robert Kirkman's kind of books and stuff like that, because those are the ones I end up having a lot of fun reading. And then when I'm already in there and I already read a few books and stuff like that, then I'll hit up a Tom King book and I have fun with that, because I'm already used to doing the reading. Sometimes you gotta like an engine, like a car engine, especially when you get older, you gotta rev it up a little bit. You know what I mean? And so you had a long, grueling day. You don't want to hit up Tom King right away if you're gonna read a book. You know what I mean? Love him, but I'm gonna need that Kelly Thompson book, like Robert Kirkman stuff, just so I can get going. And I'm glad you said that, because just like the movie you just saw, a movie like that is what people needed. You know what I mean? Like right now, things are still kind of serious out there. Every little thing is like negative this, negative that. Yeah. Why you think Wolverine Deadpool movie, you know what I mean, did so well? Yeah. Because they took a lot of serious stuff, made fun of themselves, and it was freaking fun. I don't know if you saw it, but I had a blast watching that movie.
Hold the thought on Deadpool and Wolverine. I do want to talk about that with you in a second, and tying into what we're talking about.
Okay.
I'll quickly say it is what you said. It's kind of that balance of, it's yin and yang. Like, yeah, we have a little bit of this more lighthearted, positive stuff. That way we can get into kind of the darker, more serious stuff. Give me about 15 seconds. I got to give someone my car keys real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, it's all good. It's all good. All good. I'll just leave you out for a minute. But yeah, it was just like, that's what I've been noticing. Like, even I love sports. Everybody knows me. I'm into sports. And right now I'm a Yankee fan. I got this. I don't mind the banter. Oh, Yankees suck. Oh, this team suck. I love that. It's just one thing, a little overboard. Like, today. Oh, yeah, I get the days confused now. Look at me. Yesterday, you had the Mets win, and the way they won was a lot of fun. They made a huge comeback, stuff like that. They've been playing for a while, and New York, the Mets fans are loving it. I love that. I'm a Yankee fan, but I hit up a Met fan that I know that's a positive Met fan, and I told him, yo, Pete Alonso home run the other day. I freaking love that. You know what I mean? And he probably was surprised that I said that, but I called that home run. And it's just like I like to see winning in New York because it's been a while since they won a championship or have winning teams. It was a year that was just terrible. Everybody's stunk, every team. So, long story short, the Yankees win. They made a comeback, but there's so much. It's the Yankees. They haven't won since '09. That is they won, and there's still negativity towards them and stuff like that. And I try to keep it in the positive thing. It was sweating and stuff like that, but I love stuff like that. Back into comics, that's what I look for in the comic. My man Brandon's back, but
sorry about that.
Saying I brought sports into this because it's a big part of pop culture. We do pop culture stuff like that. The drama in sports, I love it in sports. I love it in my comics. I love it in my movies and stuff like that. So, you were gonna say something about the movie, the Wolverine and Deadpool?
Oh, yeah, with Deadpool and Wolverine, like I didn't love the movie. I really liked it.
It's okay.
I did really like it. I didn't love the movie, but what I did like about it is seeing how much people love the movie. That's a key thing. Is like there can be media, like a show or a movie or a comic or whatever that like you personally don't like. And I'm not saying I don't like Deadpool and Wolverine. I did like it. I did like the movie. But there can be something where you don't like or weren't a big fan of or whatever it may be. But if there's other people that really like it, like it's okay to let them like it. Yes, you want your opinion heard. They also want their opinion heard. But it's a crucial thing. I'd say like if someone is just feels that positivity with a movie, a comic, a TV show, whatever it may be, like let them feel that. Like you can tell them like your thoughts on it, but don't bash their opinion or bash them because they like this thing. It's like, hey, we've got different opinions. That's what makes this world great. Like I'd hate if everyone had the same mindset as me. That'd be annoying. I'd probably like I'd want to leave. I'd want to leave this world. It's got too many yappers out there, sort of thing. But that's what's great is like we have different opinions and stuff. We can have the conversation about it. We can talk about like this person has the highs, I have the lows on the thing, but we can still not bash the people and still like, hey, I'm glad you liked it. Like I'm glad you got.
You don't have to yuck on other people's yum. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
Just, it's all good.
Way to put it.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, like you said, you liked it, but you didn't love it. That's okay too. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. Like I just like some people just take and say, "How do you like that movie? That's trash." Just like relax. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. I hated it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you have Joker 2 that came out with Lady Gaga being Harley Quinn. I hear so much bad stuff about that movie right now, and then like I see a couple of people that did enjoy it. You know what I mean? I gave them a thumbs up. You know what I mean? I was like, good. You saw something good out of it because probably a lot of people talking trash to the comic book fans. Like, oh, this is not like the comics. Oh, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it does. Well, you know, maybe it does.
The thing is, like, I don't know. I still haven't seen it, and maybe I won't like it. Maybe I will like it. Who knows? But what I do like about it is it's, at least with the marketing, what I saw with it coming out and stuff is like, this feels different. This feels weird. I like that. I'm tired of the same old thing. I've seen this stuff too many times. I want new. I want different. That's why I like some of. I'm not saying I'm like, oh, I'm a big A24 lover fan or whatever, but like they produce some weird stuff. They produce some new stuff. Everything everywhere all at once was like one of my favorite movies of the past few years. Like I just like that difference. I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I like a big blockbuster. I like a big summer blockbuster. But I don't want all the movies to be big summer blockbusters where it's just popcorn flick. I want variety. I want difference. I'm not saying Joker 2 will be that or is that. I'm not saying that at all. Link, yes. Strange Darling was amazing. Yes. But yeah, like it's whether I like it or not, based on the marketing, I can see that it is going to be different. It's going to be different. It's a Joker 2 movie, and it's partially a musical, and that might be a turnoff for some people, but for me, it's like, that sounds weird. I don't know if it can work or if it does work or whatever, but hey, it's unique. That's what I want to see. Try something new.
You might end
If
up
it
loving it.
lands, exactly.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
it fails, it fails. But if it lands, then it's like, hey, like I just saw this unique thing that lands. So I don't know.
Please ban me.
Schlock movie. Yeah, there's a lot of fun from Schlock as well, man.
I think Steph somewhere said something about Borderlands the movie, somewhere around here. But
I haven't seen Borderlands movie.
I went with my wife to see that movie, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. She didn't like it, and that's the first time we went to a movie that we didn't like. You know, we were opposites. Like, she didn't really love it. I gotta know. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a great movie by all means. No, it wasn't.
Right,
you know what I mean? It was all over the place. But I'm not. I don't know nothing. My wife didn't, but I don't know about the game or stuff like that. I don't know how accurate everything is. I just love the silliness. You know what I mean? I just
you personally had a good time with it.
I had a good time. I was like, all right. I guess I wasn't expecting a good movie and I ended up liking it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But anybody who didn't like it, I'm cool with that because it wasn't a great movie. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, you know, bad movies you enjoy. There's some bad movies you enjoy. It's just the way it is. I mean, the way this world is. You know what I mean? But yeah. So that's a perfect example that Steph put on there, that movie. But man, like when back to the comic, when I read your books, that's what I love to have fun. So I already know I'm gonna have fun because I read the first two and stuff like that. But we are going over an hour, so I want to get back to the book real quick. Before we start going the all the Kickstarter stuff, because I have it up here. There's anything else you want to talk about? Oh, you have 3 issues you can still get, but anything about Gallows-man 3 that you want to pitch on here to everyone to let them know why should we buy this book, man?
I'd say at least check out the Kickstarter page. There's a trailer there. There's also 6 preview pages of issue 3, 7 preview pages of issue 3 or issue 1, so you can get a good feel of the book. And also, each of these books are like thick books. They're fat books. Like issue 1 is 52 plus pages, issue 2 52 plus pages. Issue 3 is the biggest one. It's 60 plus pages. It's like a mini staple bound graphic novel basically. And it's just a fun time. Like I mentioned before, it's Adam West Batman meets Inglourious Bastards. Fun campiness, over the top violence sort of thing. And it's set in the 1940s. You have Gallows-man. You have this world of over the top satirical golden age superheroes. And within that, you have the Gallows-man, and you have his team, which includes his Robin equivalent Newsboy. And they're trying to stop this Nazi threat that has infiltrated their city. Not only to save the city, but also to avenge the death of the Gallows-man's former mentor. Thank you, Steph. But that's essentially the premise of it, and it goes further in issue 1 and issue 2. With issue 1, you see how it starts. This threat has came about once again. This past threat that, it's not really a spoiler. It's like 15 pages into issue 1, was the cause of the Gallows-man's former mentor's death. You see that, and then you see them trying to investigate and figure out where this threat might be, sort of thing. Issue 2, leads aren't great, and you almost see a flip-flop of issue 1. You see kind of that somewhat positivity and jovialness with Gallows-man in issue 1. Issue 2, mostly in the beginning, you kind of see like an opposite of that, where he's down and in the dumps because like it's been time and there's been no leads. But it does progress with like that happy jovialness of Adam West Batman. He eventually finds a lead, something happens, and he gets pretty much knocked out, winds up in the bad guy's evil lair sort of thing. That's where issue 2 ends. So and also I mentioned very vague statements regarding issue 1 and 2. Like I mentioned before, both of those issues are 52 plus pages each. I mentioned the broad strokes of them. There's a lot of funny detail within that and how it goes. But that leads into issue 3, where you now have Gallows-man stuck in the evil villain's lair, and it spirals and goes from there, sort of thing. Again, fun time. It's a fun time. I'm not trying to do crazy plot twist or anything like that. This isn't the story for that. This is just simply just a fun ride that you're on if you check it out and pick up the book, sort of thing. That's essentially the Gallows-man.
Awesome. Yeah. Also, one more thing. Towards the end, you kind of get like a Home Alone type of homage in there, mixed with horror. Well, I got that. I got you.
Well, so with issue 3, I know. Yeah. So with that,
with issue 3, yeah.
Issue 4, because it ends with issue 3 with like some of those trap things. Issue 4, the way to describe issue 4, like it'll be a while before issue 4. We're working on it, but it's going to be a while. It's essentially Gallows-man meets Home Alone, kind of like that. That'll be issue 4. But yeah,
hit us with the link. Oh man, I forgot to put the link on the thing again. I promise to put that in there. If you go to the Kickstarter.com, which I'm gonna show it right now, just look up Gallows-man 3 on the Kickstarter, and there you go. You found it. There you go, and that's how you found it. So I'm gonna throw it up. I'm not being able to see the both of us, so I'm just gonna throw it up on here. I'm gonna see if you can see it. Can you see it? Oh, do I have to? Nah, right? I think I have to add it. I think I have to add it to the thing. Hold up. While you were explaining, I should have done that.
No, you're good. I'll send the link in the private chat, and you might be able to put it in the live chat. That link. I can't put it in because it won't be clickable if I put it in.
Oh, I got it right here. Share. Now, I put share. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I see the campaign page now.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, because I could see the page. I can't see you. So here's how it looks. Explanation on what it's about right there, and then you have the actual cover of the book right here, and of course you got the famous 15 cent because it's golden age up in the house. Yeah, and to join the movement that critics are raving about.
See the bottom one. Still at this time, it was Chamorro Cinema, so I'm leaving it Chamorro Cinema right there. It's something unique that you've never seen before. Still got Manny right there.
Manny, hell yeah. Of course, that's the variant, right? Cover B, or cover B. It's cover A, like DC. Cover A, cover B.
Yeah.
That will always be the variant. There's a little preview of what it looks like, and the evil. What's his name on there?
Major Swastika.
Swastika. There you go, Major Swastika.
And for those that may have saw some of that dialogue, he has a Elmer Fudd speech impediment. So it's good gracious, like almost like baby talk after.
Yeah. That was just quick little things we show here. Of course, this is towards the end. That's all I'll say. You know what I mean? Because I want people to be surprised a little bit. And, but a nice, silly art. Go ahead.
Yeah, here you got them. They're escaping Newsboy and Masked Butler / Bertwald. You see Bertwald in the earlier issue 1 and 2, but now he's actually in action. And some henchmen are running up on them as they're trying to escape. And it's about to go down. They're about to throw down. Bertwald's like, I'll take the tall one. And from there, you saw this Butler. You saw this Alfred guy, basically. in issue 1 and 2, kind of just like, hey, I got some sandwiches for you guys. Now you're about to see him like about to see this old man kick some butt, sort of thing. And it's brutal, but it's fun.
A lot of fun. Of course, this is you. So it's all about you right there. And of course, the awesome artist.
Yeah, Helen does great work.
Cover artist.
Thomas
Tikas.
Thomas and Rick, everyone has been on the project from the beginning. Like issue 1, 2, 3, like Helen's been doing the interiors, Thomas has been doing the cover A's, Rick has been doing the cover B's. Because that's how I see it. And like I have nothing against people doing a lot of variants for their comics if they're kickstarting or crowdfunding or whatever. It's just not for me. I don't need, yes, it's a good way to get more money because people want all the variants. They want variants A through Z sort of thing. They want 20 copies of this one book sort of thing with different covers. To each their own. If people want that, that's okay. But I don't want to do that with my projects that I do with Dismay Comics. It's not about the money. It's simply like, this is what I like. This is what I want people to see. And the reason I do a cover B is my cover A and cover B, there's no price difference. It's the same exact price. It's just you as the person that wants the book. Hey, which cover do you want? Do you want this one? Do you want this one? Same price, no difference. It's just whichever one you like more.
Oh,
yes. Annie has, yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going back and forth here. But okay. Yeah, that's awesome that you have the same creators, just like Step Sad and all that, all together, and man, that's beautiful. Keep on going, man. I can't wait to see 4 now. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Wait, we gotta do 3 first. But these are the tiers right here. So you got level 1. So tell me about level 1, and keep going. I'll follow you.
Yeah. So it's we have a mix of tiers. They range from $1 to $199. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. One, you may think like $1 or a few dollars, like that. How is that helping you? It helps, one, because I see it like go up a little bit. I see that green bar go up a little bit. I also see the backer count go up a little bit. It goes like from 73 to 74. Little stuff. It just like, I don't know, tiny motivational boost, because it shows me like, hey, someone like checked out the Kickstarter campaign. Hey, they want to support this no matter what their budget is. They're like, hey, like I'll throw you $1. It's like, thanks, man. So there's that.
Yeah.
There's also digital copies. Digital copy of issue 3 is $7. Again, 60 plus pages that you get with issue 3. Digital bundle. This is Gallows-man 1, 2, 3. Tales from Town City #1. 4 comics, $18 if you want it digitally. PDF copies of those. Almost 200 pages of comics right there. Physical copies start at $12 with Gallows-man 3. Again, 60 plus pages. And for those that are jumping into the stuff for the first time, there's a catch-up bundle. There's a Gallows-man catch-up bundle that has issue 1, 2, 3, and Tales from Town City #1, all 4 signed, plus PDF copies of the comics, plus a sticker set, plus PDF copies of the script, so you can see, like, you can learn, like, hey, like Brandon, like, he's a sucky writer at the beginning, but by issue 3 he sucks a little less. Maybe you can learn that through the scripts. But you get a slew of stuff, including all those signed books, with that $35 catch-up bundle. Just a mix of stuff. That's kind of that is the most popular tier with this campaign, because you can look at statistics. Like me as the Kickstarter creator, Kickstarter has like a dashboard with statistics and stuff. That tier alone is almost half of the pledges. Almost half the people that back this book have gotten that tier because they've discovered my stuff for the first time. That's encouraging as well. It's like, dang, like a lot of new people coming in. Like, it's cool to see.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So there's that catch-up bundle. There's also a complete bundle that has issue 1, 2, 3, Tales from Town City #1, as well as all cover A and cover B. So you get 8 comics with that complete bundle. You get all the sticker sets, you get all the PDFs, you get all the PDF scripts. That's what comes in that complete bundle for $55. And then there's retailer bundles. And also, you don't have to be a comic shop retailer to get either of these bundles. I'm not a stickler on that. If you just want a bundle of comics, because people have done this in the past, if you just want a bundle of comics to have or to do whatever with, you can get it.
Give to other people. You know, that's maybe
exactly,
some people want to get. You know.
Exactly. And there's a Gallows-man 3 retailer bundle that has 10 copies of the book, all signed. It's 5 copies of cover A, 5 copies of cover B. There's a retailer bundle, 10 of them that you can get for Gallows-man 3. There's also a Gallows-man 1 through 3 retailer bundle, where it's 4 copies of Gallows-man 1, 4 copies of Gallows-man 2, 4 copies of Gallows-man 3. There's that retailer bundle. Then there's a creator value bundle, which is all of the stuff from the complete bundle, where it's like all the comics, all the variants, all of those signs, and all the PDFs and all that stuff. And also a 2-hour Zoom script consultation with me. Whether it's a screenplay you have or a comic script you have, I will sit down with you through Zoom and we'll go over it. Beforehand, you'll send me the script. I'll take notes beforehand. We get on the Zoom call. I'm breaking down the notes. I'm asking you questions. You're asking me questions. And if we go over 2 hours, that's fine. I'm not a stickler on time. It's not like, oh, we hit 2-hour mark, exit, in call. Like, I'm not going to do that. I want to help as much as I can. So there's that for the creators out there that just want a little consultation. There's also original art bundles. These were tough for me to kind of part with, because regarding original art for the Gallows-man, there's not a lot of it. The interiors by Helen are all digital, so there's no original art there. Regarding like physical is what I mean. Mm-hmm. Rick Alves, he does his art digitally, so there's no physical art there. Thomas is the only one a part of the Gallows-man team that has traditional pencils and inks. So all of Thomas's main covers, the cover A's, he has pencils and inks of those. I'm probably never going to get rid of those. Those are like my babies sort of thing. I'd have to slap a ridiculous price on those to get rid of those. But I made sure to commission him to do original art so that people could have original Gallows-man art from creators of the Gallows-man. And there's 2 different pieces. There is, let me see, there's a I Heart Town City piece where it has Gallows-man and Newsboy. They're sporting I Heart Town City shirts, and the heart is like a little noose. It's like I think that image right there. But yeah, it's a nice little piece, and the scans right here don't do it justice. Me showing you on camera doesn't do it justice. Like Thomas's inks, the attention to detail that this guy does is crazy. But with these bundles, you get the original piece. You also get the preliminary sketch. You also get all that stuff from before, all the comics, all the variants, all signed, all the digital copies of scripts, yada, 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 a bunch of stuff. It's a laundry list of stuff. People can look at it. You also get that script consultation, and you get that original art. So it's original art and a laundry list of other stuff as well. And these are also signed by Thomas as well. Both pieces are signed by Thomas. So yeah, just a mix of stuff through this campaign. Again, a tier for any budget. Every little bit helps.
Yeah, I love the tiers. I'm not sure which one I'm getting yet, but you already know I'm in there. You know, I always like to be the one towards the end where you have any stretch goals and stuff. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, these are the stretch goals here. Have you already met some of these?
Yeah, we hit the 1250. You'll get a masked butler sticker. It says Remember, kids, always eat your vegetables. Mass Butler saying that for those that have backed the projects in the past, this goes along with your other bookmarks. There's a Gallows-man bookmark that says, remember, kids, reading is power. Then there's a Newsboy bookmark that says, remember, kids, littering is the truest form of villainy. Now you got a Mass Butler bookmark that says, remember, kids, eat your vegetables. So fun little thing to keep with that. And then another thing, the 1751 we hit an apple a day. It's a 5-page comic PDF. This is going to be in Tales from Town City #2, but Tales from Town City #2 is kind of on the back burner right now, just because of the, including this, the 7 projects I have going right now. Those are prioritized. Eventually, we'll put out Tales from Town City #2, but you're looking at a year and a half, maybe a year and a half when that comes out. But we've had this story done for it for a while, so I just want to share it with people. Like it's a funny story. It's dark and dumb. I'll say that this story is pretty dumb, but it might be one of the darkest funny stories I've published, at least, with Gallows-man and Tales from Town City and stuff. And for those that don't know, Tales from Town City, it's a spin-off within the Gallows-man world. It follows minor characters that are introduced within the Gallows-man miniseries. But yeah, so people will be able to read that little story. And we're going towards our last stretch goal right now, 2,500. If we hit 2,500, everyone will get this. This is from that wraparound cover of cover B that Rick did. But it was so good that I was like, dude, we got to do a print of this. This is like good. We got to do like a good print of this. So when we hit that, everyone will get an 8x10 print of this scene right here of Gallows-man and Newsboy on the top of this hill. You got the dead bodies, you got the guillotine in the background, you got the clothes flying, all that stuff. So if we hit that, everyone will get that print.
Sweet. Backer giveaways.
Yes, yeah, and we hit 25, we hit 50. Every 25 backers, we do a backer giveaway to where at the very end of the campaign, I'll put all physical backers into a random will generator, and it'll just go, and each person that wins will get a sticker and bookmark set. Whether it's a Gallows-man bookmark set or a Disney Avenue bookmark set, it's not random either. Like once someone is chosen from the will generator, they get to choose which sticker and bookmark set they get. So just a little thing for thanking the people for helping that backer number creep up, sort of thing.
Awesome. I'm gonna keep showing some of that. Gallows-man 1 and 2, and then Disney Avenue 1 and 2.
Yeah, so you can get the creepy stickers and bookmarks as well.
Yeah, which I keep forgetting to show them when I have my books over here, because I have a few of those.
Oh yeah.
And this is real quick. I'm gonna just show you art from the old Gallows-man 1 and 2, I think, on here.
Yeah. This is from issue 1. It's the very beginning of issue 1. This is like with issue 3, those preview pages, you see like a good feel of the story. This is like essentially the theme of the series you capture in the first 7 pages of issue 1.
There goes a jackal.
So, yeah. Jackal's not doing so good. Walrus about to get his comeuppance as well, and you get the cheesy dialogue and stuff like, "Looks like you're at the end of your rope, Walrus." It's like that's what you think, Swallows man. And then goes to shoot. He's out of bullets. The gun clicks. The hammer clicks. It's like, it's Gallows-man. And you get that pow, the bloody nose. He's about to run. And Newsboy has set a noose reel trap. And Walrus has ran right into it and gets sprung up. Then Gallows-man and Newsboy have a back and forth, a very like jovial and cheesy back and forth of like, you got him, Gallows-man, and like all that sort of stuff. They have little one-liners like Newsboy says like, "Hey, Gallows-man," and Gallows-man's like, "Yes, Newsboy." Newsboy's like, I bet when Jackal asked Walrus to come hang out, this wasn't what he had in mind." Gallows-man, ah ha 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 ha. It sure wasn't, Newsboy. It sure wasn't. All while you got people like hanging and bodies in the background and all that stuff. It shows the theme of the book, basically. How
Yeah.
we'll see from there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and you got the news radio broadcast that will then introduce the villain. That's the villain's hand smashing that radio.
Mm-hmm. Dun dun dun. And of course, those are all the social medias. You see it. All right. So I guess we showed everything on there. Awesome. So you have 73 backers so far. So you're almost up to that 75 that you need. And we're like, yeah. And then what was the other goal? The 2,500 was it?
2,500. Yeah. If we hit 2,500, everyone, all physical backers will get that poster print.
So let's get it. Let's get it, people. I'll probably chip into that, but
let's see. We've got till this coming Friday. Noon Central Standard Time. So if anyone wants to support this campaign, or if you want to get these books, like, you got to do it between now and noon, or Friday noon Central Standard Time, because I don't have an online shop or anything like that. So this is the only way to get it online right after. Like there's no place to get it online right after the Kickstarter campaign. So this is like the time to do it, sort of thing, between now and Friday.
Yeah, that's what Kickstarter is about. So like all the projects that are on here, you know, if you want that particular thing, boom, you got it ordered. You know, you ain't got to worry about it selling out because it's yours once you complete.
Yeah, you got it.
You back the project. You know what I mean?
And especially, I've done stuff in the past. You'll get it. You will get the books. So.
And of course, I showed the books earlier just to prove it. But yeah, man. So awesome, man. I mean, oh man, that was always fun to like do a show with you. And we said an hour and a half, give or take. We went a little over, but that was cool. You know what I mean? And that's the Kickstarter, guys. So you just go to Kickstarter.com, right? And like I said, just look up the Gallows-man 3 and stuff like that. If and of course Steph put the link up earlier. Up in here. So just hit that link.
But just Google Gallows-man 3 Kickstarter. It'll be the first thing you see.
Yeah, I found it real fast. I didn't even have to bother Brandon about it. I'm like, you know what I mean? I bother me enough. But oh man, Stu Station, man, thanks for joining me. And of course, I saw Bobby earlier, and I always gotta let me see if I can get back to Bobby. I don't even know if he's still in here. But real quick before we leave here, that's if I find him. But that's okay. I'll just do it right here. Bobby Hardcore Station. You don't think I forgot about that? You know what I mean? I'm always. And of course, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. I say tonight like it's not nighttime, but today.
It's tonight somewhere. It's
tonight somewhere. You're right. And who knows when they're watching this? If they watch it on the rewind. And of course, if you guys, let me just take this. Did I take it out yet? No, let me just take it out so we can see both of us now. Of course, if you guys like what you saw, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ding that bell for notification for future videos. Yes, I'll be back in a couple of weeks with my man Primetime Tom, and we're gonna return to the Zeb Wells run, which is a lot of people not liking, but we're still gonna cover it. Someone out there might like it, you know what I mean? So we're gonna cover it and stuff like that. And like what I like to do a lot is when I do reviews like that, I try to take out whatever the main plot is for the whole run. I try to take that out and just enjoy the particular comic that comes out, because sometimes an issue or arc, you might like the arc, just like the Spencer run. Zeb Wells run is the same way. So and he's closely leaving the book for Joe Kelly to take over. So we're gonna finish his whole run. That's me and Tom. That's what me and Prime Time Tom does. So check us out. I'll keep everybody posted of exactly in a couple of weeks, or maybe even next weekend. Who knows? We're talking about it, and of course, Brandon, thanks for coming on here. Always thinking of me when you have a Kickstarter. He always in the clutch, and we always plan it. I always plan it so it could be towards the end of the Kickstarter. So
Yeah.
you know, maybe you need a couple of more, and maybe I could be that good luck charm to catch some more up in there.
You know what's perfect about it? Big Herm was my last stop. Big Herm was the last one. I had a fantastic time. I don't have any more planned the rest of this week. I'm happy this was the last one. Like Herm.
Oh, thanks.
Herm is out of all the shows I've done. This isn't like bashing anyone. All the shows I've done the past month have been great. This has been, I'm going to say right now, number one. It was great. Herm, Steph, everyone in the chat, it was great to see.
I love this. I love these people, man. They're all positive people. You know what I mean? And all love comics and stuff like that. And all like to have a good time. We all like to have a good time and stuff like that. And as Brandon knows, this is just me. I'm just all over the place sometimes. My joy is like legit, man. I'm just here, like I'm just naturally loud. You know what I mean? So, so like, it was fun catching up with you too, because it's been a while since we've done this. That's why, like, when we see each other in the back before we do this, I was like, let's just do this. Let's just go online. You know what I mean? We'll just talk about it, because our conversations are always fun, and I like people to get the whole conversation. Man, can't wait for your next Kickstarter. You know what I mean? I'm already like, I want to see Gallows-man 4 now. You know me. I'm always like that. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to get you in trouble by saying, you know what I want? I wanted the shirt, and you came through with the shirts. You know what I mean? On the past ones, oh, you should do some shirts and stuff like that. And now I'm like, yo, I want a hat. You know what I mean? So,
well, I was gonna say, like, Herm, like, and this isn't an exaggeration. This actually was how it happened. Herm has influenced some of the stuff I've made. Tales from Town City #1, the whole thing, the Fierce Pets, the team of them. Herm's the reason I wrote that book. Herm's the one that got me like inspired to write that book, because I remember Gallows-man 2, that Kickstarter ended, and you were like, "Hey, are we gonna see more Hangmutt?" Like, I like Hangmutt, and I didn't have any plans for Hangmutt with issue 3 and issue 4. Like, it was like those few pages in issue 1 and 2, and I was like, dang, maybe I could write. And like gears started turning. I was like, oh, like Fierce Pets having this team of super animals and stuff. So literally that story came from Herm talking about Hangmutt, me focusing on that. So Herm has inspired some of the stories that have come out through Disney Comics.
Yes, I'm glad that I do like help out with that. An ambassador of some kind, of Disney Comics. I love it, man. Thank you. And before we go, you do have more projects coming. Gallows-man 4 is one, and you just mentioned one just now. You're gonna have it's good. Yes, number 2. So I can't wait. And then you also have this one. I found this one too, and I was glad I found it. These issues right here.
Disney Avenue. So the very next thing coming from Disney Comics specifically will be issue 3 of Disney Avenue. Disney Avenue number 3 will come out. I don't have a set date yet, but probably mid next year, sometime middle of next year, most likely. Gallows-man 4 probably won't come out next year. We're just trying to make sure it's perfect, fine-tuned, because that's the last issue of the mini-series, trying to make sure everything's in order, sort of thing. Maybe a 2026 release on that. I know it's a gap for people, but it takes a long time to make these comics. And we try to make sure we give you like a thick book each time it happens, to where it's not a 15, 20 page thing where it's like, I gotta wait another year for 15, 20 pages. Like, no, like 60 pages. We give you 60 pages. We give you a book, basically. But yeah, I have
It's
Tales
like a
from
mini
Town City
graphic
number.
novel. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's what they're.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I've got Tales from Town City number 2. It's on the back burner. I will probably. I haven't got an artist for that yet. Again, there's a bunch of stuff, a bunch of other projects I have going right now. But once some of those start clearing up, I'll have a focus on that. But Disney Avenue number 3, middle of next year. Gallows-man number 4, likely a 2026 release. The next project I have is with some YouTube artists and people like Comic Journey, CJ,
Mm-hmm.
him, Tate Prime, Matt, also known as Siren, as well as like a really good tattoo artist named Ben Frazier. All of us have collabed on this one book that I can't say a lot about right now, and I hate I can't. But it's and this is going to sound like so like okay, yeah, we've heard that before, but trust me, it is I think story wise, it's a good story. I'm biased, I'm the writer of it. I think story wise, it's a good story. The concept itself, specifically what we're doing with comics right here with this specific thing we're working on, all of us try to think in the past and everything. We haven't seen anyone try this concept before. Whether it lands or doesn't, we'll have to see. But at the very least, something weird, something unique, dealing with comics that hasn't been seen before. We'll likely have a Kickstarter for that mid-January of 2025. So coming up a few months from now, we'll have a Kickstarter for that as our collective. But there's that. I also did a 7-page short sci-fi comedy for a guy named Hans Fink. He's a great writer as well as colorist in comics and stuff. Wrote a 7-page sci-fi comedy for him, and it's either going to be a one-shot or it's going to be a graphic novel. But that story will be in there. It's dumb, it's funny, it's very pulpy. It's like pulpy 1950s type sci-fi, like the Cosmos and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun to write. That'll probably come out sometime next year, I'm assuming. What else? Oh, there's 2 series. I can't forget these. I can't say much about them now. That's what sucks. All this stuff I can't say much about. There's 2 series that I have completely written the series. Both series are completely beginning to end done. Issues 1 are almost completely done in terms of art and everything. Those are the 2 series that I mentioned at the beginning. Once those are done, which will probably be within the next month, I'm going to pitch to publishers. I'm going to see if I can get those series in with publishers. At the very least, if a publisher doesn't pick it up, I will at least drop those issues, at least the issue 1s on Disney Comics. But I hope those series get picked up by publishers and we can get those series out there. They're fun.
Sweet.
Those are going to be comedies. They're both comedies. They're very funny. So yeah, a lot of stuff.
Nice.
And I made a mini Halloween comic that everyone that backs the Gallows-man Kickstarter, this isn't in the Kickstarter, but everyone that backs it and gets a physical copy, I'll put the mini Halloween comic in with your thing.
Sweet.
So you also get that mini comic. It's a funny little meta comic, but yeah, bunch of stuff.
Oh, I love free
Fans
stuff, man.
everywhere.
You know me.
Thank you.
That's amazing. We all love free stuff. Awesome, man. I'm glad that you're not just you're doing other projects with other people and stuff like that, and that's amazing. How you keep track of all that out. That's why you're doing the job and I'm not. You know what I mean? Thanks again, man. Everybody check out the Kickstarter. Well written. Like I said, I enjoy your writing. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait for all that. All your projects. You already know. Anytime, hit me up. We'll do this again. And we'll have a blast like always. And yeah, man. And until next time, everybody, love you. Everybody in the chats, thank you very much for coming on here. Anybody watching on the rewind, thank you too. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, we do this for fun. And anybody who watches, I'm always happy you watched. And of course, him, he's always happy to have anybody read his stuff. So we just love a lot of happiness. A lot of, you already know I would take forever to stick the landing. Till next time, guys. Love you all. Have a great rest of your year. I'll be back. Brandon will be back. But have a happy holiday. All that kind of stuff. All that's coming. And before we know it, we'll have our Gallows-man issue number 3 with us. Already planning his next project, his next Kickstarter. Let's go. Here we go. Stay tuned to all that. Till next time. Anything you want to add, Brandon, before we leave?
I say, at the end of the day, thank you for everyone checking out. And I got to hit the salute. I got to do the station. Station to everyone.
Station. Big station. Awesome, bro. Next time, guys. Peace out. Much love. And as soon as I can just find the exit here, we can leave. You know what I mean? So, love you guys. Station.